my friends didn't show up tonight. Originally, my friends were going to come over tonight, but then the plans kind of fell through. Because so many of our friends weren't able to make it tonight. Only 2 of them would have been able to come, and at that point I'm just like, well, should we just do this another time? It kind of seems like tonight's not a good time for you guys to come over, given how many of you guys can't show up tonight. And so we put a rain check on it. Probably for the best too, because I have quite a headache doing this right now. It was a pretty busy day at work, so I do have quite a headache right now. I should be resting right now instead of doing this, but it's not like this is a very high octane thing I'm doing right now. I cannot believe this Giratina has not been shiny yet. I really debated going into Ultra Sun to give it a try, but then to do that, I would not only need to find Giratina again, because, you know, I need Dialga and Palkia in my party, but then I would need to trade my party over, because I only have 1 team ready. That's why I can't dual hunt, because I don't have a shiny hunting, or rather a shiny catching setup on any other game. I only have the 1. So if I were to dual shiny hunt, then the other game would have no strategy to catch it when it does show up shiny. So, I'm gonna see if anyone's gonna tune in, because I did kind of announce beforehand I wasn't doing this tonight, and now here I am. So, last time, the Peacemaker episode, there was a storyline that I kind of just completely forgot to talk about. I talked about the beginning of it, but I didn't go into detail. And that was the storyline with Vigilante, what he did after he left to go find his doppelganger. So, he goes into his doppelganger's home, he notices the small differences, like the lawn decorations being slightly different, and then Cheerios being spelled with an H. That's a recurring joke. And so his keys work the exact same on his doppelganger's locks, so he's able to do that. He goes into his doppelganger's basement where there's no drugs or money being held, And he finds his doppelganger, and his doppelganger is borderline the exact same as him. Same goofiness, same look, same everything. Only thing different I could see, visual-wise, was the glasses. All were Adrian... Actually, I'm not too sure now. I'm pretty sure all were Adrian had silver frames, and the doppelganger Adrian had gold frames. So the two of them are damn near identical. Down to everything that they like. They even asked who their favorite Pokemon is. Infernape! You know, I'm starting to get the feeling that someone on the crew is into Pokemon. Whether that be James Gunn himself or Freddie Stroma. I'm starting to get the feeling that someone is into Pokemon. Sure, Flurry mentioned it too. But he was talking about Adrian when he said, I bet he caught all the Pokemons. So I'm starting to get the feeling that someone on the crew is a fan of Pokemon. You know, it's always so out of place with a Pokemon reference. It's like on The Flash when Cisco referenced Bulbasaur. Testing Cecile's power. Or what was that show? The House MD? What was it called? A friend of mine sent me the clip. Yeah, House MD. Pokemon reference. Arceus. It's like Arceus? Look it up. Yeah, Pokemon references are always so out of place. You know, I thought about that. I thought about what would it be like for someone who, say, literally was living under a rock, never played games, never even heard of Pokemon, and then started playing Pokemon, like gave it a try, would see all of these unique designs, all of these creatures, like, I don't know any of these, but hey, that one looks cool, or hey, this one looks cute. I wonder if someone like that who gives the game a try would then get sucked into it and be like, oh, I gotta collect them all. It's like, wait, games nowadays don't have every Pokemon available? Oh, then I gotta go back and play some old games. Catch some stuff that's available in those games. A friend of mine texted us earlier tonight in the group chat. He texted me, actually. And he sent me a picture of a hairless cat looking directly at the screen with his eyes squinted. And the caption was, "You will turn Chinese tomorrow." And I'm just thinking, like, he refused to answer what that actually is, what that means. So I'm just like, I think someone had a stroke. You know? And then he replied, nah, it's all good in the hood. And going by that, I'm just like, I'd home, stay looking out, just holler if you need anything, you feel me? He texted, can I get some chicken fried rice since you will be Chinese tomorrow? I'm just like, boys, I think he had a mental breakdown. He finally snapped. I mean, it's kind of a miracle that up to this point, I haven't snapped yet. I haven't had a mental breakdown yet. So he was just like, you will be Chinaman. Either the rapture is gonna happen tomorrow, or nukes will rain down upon us. Because I don't know what this boy is up, what this boy is up to. God, my head hurts. You know, I had steak for dinner, and my headache made it to where it was really hard to enjoy it, just because you just have to keep on chewing, and then it just makes your head hurt even more. Like, it makes the pain pulsate in waves, so it's like, oh, now it's hard for me to enjoy eating. So yeah, following up on that, so the two Adrian chases are damn near identical, except for one big feature. Is Peacemaker their best friend? One says yes, one says no. 100 years, no shiny Giratina. I'm trying! So our Adrian, obviously we know he thinks of Peacemaker as his BFF, but the doppelganger Adrian's just like, no, Peacemaker? Christopher Smith? He's my arch enemy. He's the reason I joined the Sons of Liberty. The what? So yeah, I completely forgot to mention that last time. You know, I would love for Giratina to turn blue, kind of like White Dragon's red suit also turned blue. That'd be really nice to see. You know, I really did start debating, because I only have, like, after today, I only have one episode left for Gen V and Peacemaker. So aside from watching a certain man, Chainsaw, aside from watching that, what else should I watch next? There's a whole list of things I should watch, or I still need to watch, but what should be next? I kind of feel like I probably should watch not only Sandman Season 2, but also Dead Boy Detectives. I feel like I really should start watching the two of those. Just because Sandman is so good. Season 1 was incredible. As if I haven't gotten enough of the divine when it comes to, well, actually, as if I haven't gotten enough of the divine characters in Hazbin Hotel. Well, I'm gonna see them again in Sandman. Or, at the most, just Lucifer. There is no Lilith in Sandman, but we do see Mazikeen. Anyways, so yeah, that might be what's next. So the next episode of Welcome to Derry airs tomorrow. I'm excited. I am excited. This show is excellent. This show has probably been the best show I have seen since The Penguin. Now, you already know I gave The Penguin a 10 out of 10. That show was exceptional. Welcome to Derry has been very good as well. And based on the mid-season trailer, it's only gonna go up from here. Well, here's a small thing that I want to touch upon. The fact that AMC is being sued by Dave Erickson. I don't know how long this lawsuit has been going on for. However, now, both... Jesus Christ. Both Frank Darabont and Dave Erickson have sued AMC over Walking Dead stuff. It's like... what the hell's going on over there? Both showrunners for their 2 initial shows each got fired and now have sued them. It's like, what's the matter? What's going on over there? Whatever. Alright, so let's talk about these episodes, because the sooner I talk about them, the sooner I can stay silent, sit back, and just rest my headache. So, Peacemaker, the second last episode of Season 2, maybe the second last episode ever, because it seems like Peacemaker may have been canceled. I don't know, it says here Peacemaker was not officially canceled as a series. It concluded after 2 seasons with the finale of Season 2. Well, if that's the case, then that may suck, because I heard Season 2 ends with something pretty big being set up. You know what kind of sucks? That a ton of DC shows ended abruptly. Because if you think about it, a crap ton of DC shows ended abruptly. Whether that be they got canceled so the storylines never finished, or they were expecting more storylines, but they were told in advance that this would be their final season, so they kind of had to rush the ending. Think about it, Legends of Tomorrow, that got canceled, and that left on a cliffhanger. Superman and Lois, they kind of had to rush their ending, as well as Stargirl. A ton of shows did get their endings, you know, they did end on their own terms. Arrow, Flash, Doom Patrol, Titans. A lot of them did. However, a lot of them didn't. Oh, need I remind you about certain canceled shows like Constantine or Swamp Thing? Swamp Thing was good. Swamp Thing was really good. The budget was sky high, and you can tell. Production quality was just mwah. But it got canceled, sadly. All we ever got was the, 15 episodes? Oh well, anyways, so let's get into the discussion. So Peacemaker, how did this episode even open? I think it just opened where we left off. I don't remember anything special happening at the beginning. So the opening of this episode, Harcourt is questioning how Chris never noticed how this is a Nazi world. Come on, how was I supposed to know? Maybe because every desk had some sort of like German book. I'm not too sure what that book is. Is it like their memoir? I don't know what that book is. But Chris is just like, come on, you think I'd be here if I was reading? Or whatever he said. So Harcourt is just like, or the giant fucking mural of Hitler on the wall? Oh yeah, how did I miss that? That's a good question. It's pretty funny that mural was there the whole time and he never noticed. So anyways, Doppelganger Amelia is just like, what are you doing? Get away from her. And, oh my god, I can't believe he did this. I can't believe you've done this. Peacemaker, he's just like, I think we should break up. Why? Because of what I'm about to do. So they beat up all the security and then they flee for their lives. It's like, damn. You are absolutely heartless. Do you know what you've just done to this poor woman? You masqueraded yourself as someone she cared about. You made her fall for you just for you to break her heart and be like, I think we should break up. Because this person right here who looks identical to you but isn't you, yeah, she's the one I want to be with. It's like, wow. Wow. That Harcourt is never going to trust men again. So, yeah, they run. So they get out of Argus by the skin of their teeth. They had to rocket launch out at the front door, and then they drive off with the peace cycle. Chris is just like, hey, how big was the portal that brought you here? Because I want to bring the peace cycle with me. So, over back at the house, Economos just spills everything to them. So, actually, hold on, not yet. Not yet, let's talk about this first. So, Adebayo, she's running for her life by a bunch of white people. So, she runs into this yard. Like, she jumps the fence and then runs into this backyard with a pool in it. And for some reason, she decided to jump into the pool and swim across, instead of just walking around the pool. Because, that didn't seem smart. Not only would that have slowed you down, but also, if the white people did catch up to you, they could have easily drowned you, because they had the numbers. So, that wasn't very smart, but whatever. She jumped into the pool, for whatever reason, and swam across. And then, at the end of the pool, is Judo Master. Judo Master helps Adebayo out of the pool, and then he uses electrical phone pole wires to shock all the people to death in the pool. Ooh, I love it. But that does raise a big ass question. Why was Judo Master there? How did he know Adebayo was gonna run there? How did he know he would be there to the point he prepared by having electrical wires in his hand ready? It made no sense. Like, maybe Judo Master heard a stampede running his direction. Maybe he knew for whatever reason somehow that Adebayo was being chased. But there's no way he could have known that she would have jumped that fence and ended up exactly at that particular swimming pool. So how did he know? Don't worry about it. So Judo Master helps out Adebayo, and then they go into this empty house. Judo Master claims that the homeowners are away, so he just took over for now. I heard some theories online that Judo Master may have just killed the inhabitants of the house and just took it over. But that's just a theory, since we don't see any bodies. So Judo Master tells Adebayo what's happening. The Nazis won World War II on this earth, because he's been reading the history books. Fun fact, the actor himself actually likes to read too. And game. So, yeah, their plan now is to sit until nightfall, lay low, and then when nightfall comes, they sneak back to the mansion, and then they use the portal and get back home, because they're kind of stranded here. Judo Master even asks if she knows the code to get back and open the portal. She said no. So they need to regroup with everyone else. So to pass the time, they play Scrabble. Oh, I'm sorry, Scrabble, as it's said in that universe. I don't know how to play Scrabble, actually. Never played it. I don't know, it's pretty funny. The small details. Cheerios spelled with an H at the end, and Scrabble instead of Scrabble. So, yeah, back at the house, Economos just spills everything. So, Augie has to call for Keith. Keith is just like, I'm in the middle of something, I'm chasing a black down the street. It's like, it's not important, come back now. So Keith goes back to the house, and August just tells him everything. Your brother, I think he's dead. The person that you've been seeing, that's not your brother. No wonder he's been acting weird. So now they know. And then Keith also knows that Amelia's different too, because not only is she wearing black clothes and doesn't know about this Earth's musical taste, but she's also wearing pants. Like pants? Never seen her to wear pants before. So the two of them, they suit up and they fly off to find quote-unquote Peacemaker, you know, this different Peacemaker. While Economos is tied up, Eagly shows up and just does not help him. So, yeah. Chris and Amelia, they're riding down the highway with, like, on the peace cycle, and then a bunch of cops show up. In fact, they actually embrace each other quite warmingly, too. And, you know, Chris is finally feeling it, like, I like this. I like her. Liking me. I like this. Mm-hmm. Damn, not all of us can have that. So, the cops corner them, they surround them, but then White Dragon and, I don't know Keith's code name, I'm just gonna call him Keith. They fly in, they mow down all the cops, and they're just like, they basically just said, come with me if you want to live. So, with the two Adrians, Doppelganger Adrian tells Allers, like, yeah, the Nazis won World War II here. Oh no, Leota. She's a black woman who came with us. It's kind of the first thing you notice about her. It's the first thing I noticed about her. Oh no, so we better hurry up if we want to save her friend. Oh, you know what? I should look up the character's name. I forget the character's name. Maybe it would be easier to find the character's name if I looked up Superman cast. Yep, found him. Wow, he looks nothing like his character. Ooh, the actor looks nothing like the character. Man, forget Clark Kent. This is how you can't tell someone apart if they're wearing a pair of glasses and a mustache. Wow, this person looks nothing like the character he plays. So, back on our Earth, Rick Flag Sr. now has what he needs to track down the portal because of the help he got from Lex Luthor. One of Lex's workers from the Superman movie, Sidney Happerman, I think that was his name. No, Happerson. Yeah, Sidney Happerson shows up. A lot of people are going to be like, who? He was a guy who also worked with Lex in the Superman movie. The guy with the glasses and mustache. The guy who wanted to close a rift, but Lex was like, no. So then, when Mr. Terrific showed up, he's just like, I can help you. The code to close the rift is here. And Mr. Terrific's just like, get out of my way. I don't need your help. I'm the goddamn Mr. Terrific. Yeah, that guy. He shows up. So, Lex basically told Rick Flag Sr., this guy can help you. In exchange, you send me to a different prison. So Happerson, at first, is just like, so what do I get if I help you? Do I get time off of my sentence? No. Then why am I gonna help you? I'm not gonna help you if I don't get anything out of it. Well, maybe I just go and tell your boy Lex that you weren't willing to do anything. No. Okay, I'll work for you. So then Happerson just very easily finds where the rift is. Barely an inconvenience. And I'll just jump forward ahead and say, the post-credit scene... Oh yeah, the whole set was also the place where Lex had his crew controlling Ultraman too. It's just defunct, broken, impounded, but still, it's the same place. The post-credit scene just sees Happerson be like, you may want to go away now, because now that I'm here, I'm using this bitch for some Pornhub. No? Okay, suit yourself. Spits in both his hands and then slowly starts to drop his pants. Man, whatever. Alright, so Rick Flag Sr. has found where the breach is, the portal, and Argus is on their way. Alright, so now that White Dragon and Keith have, according to them, they're the doppelgangers of Peacemaker and Amelia Harcourt, they question, alright, the truth, what happened? Why are you here? And Peacemaker just tells everything. I got drunk, I wandered in here by accident, your son found me, and he attacked me. I tried to run away, I tried to run back. But then he followed. So I accidentally killed him. And to my surprise, White Dragon is actually kind of understanding. While Keith, he's furious. This guy did kind of just admit to killing your brother. But yeah, to my surprise, the brutal, monstrous White Dragon is pretty understanding. There was a line earlier too where White Dragon told Keith, where August told Keith about the fact that he saw his doppelganger in the portal. And he's just like, I don't know what happened to him, something dark, something evil. It's kind of a spin where we know one character to be evil and then we see his doppelganger and the doppelganger is good. So then the cops show up and hey, it's... what's the character's name again? Shit. Season 1 happened so long ago. It's Officer Larry Fitzgibbon. That's right, Fitzgibbon returns. Lachlan Murno actually returned. I didn't expect him to return since, you know, his character got killed off in Season 1. But yeah, to my surprise, he actually showed back up. So, Officer Fitzgibbon is back, and he's just like, Mr. White Dragon, sir, first of all, it's an honor. Big fan. Second of all, is your son home? Because we need to question him. He was present in a pretty violent standoff with the police, and a bunch of them are dead, so we need to find your son. And he's just like, nope, not here, go away, come back with a warrant to search my house, because you're not coming into my goddamn house. While the cops are surrounding the house, Adebayo as well as Judo Master are out by the bushes, wondering how they can get in. And then two vigilantes sneak up upon them. They're just like, hey, would you believe his favorite Pokemon is Infernape too? Anyway, so they need to sneak into the house. There was also a couple of lines between Leota and Judo Master while they were playing Scrabble. How Judo Master still doesn't like Peacemaker, but then Leota actually backs him up. Actually defends Chris. Like, he may not be smart, he may not be bright, but he's a good guy. And I'm not just gonna sit here and listen to you slander my friend's name. Alright, so inside, White Dragon actually seems pretty friendly towards them, understanding. He's just like, alright, here's what's gonna happen. We're gonna find the rest of your people, and then you're gonna go through that portal, and you're never gonna come back. We're gonna change the lock after you're gone. Keith is furious, you know, he wants revenge, but Augie is just like, revenge won't bring your brother back. You and I both know that he had his problems, the drugs, the drinking. Because our characters have such a bad impression of White Dragon thanks to their version of him, they don't trust him. Amelia just straight up calls him a Nazi given the world they live in, but he's just like, don't call me that. I didn't create the problems of my world. I just fight off every crime, evildoer, and injustice I see in front of me. So it's just like, yeah, this is a good guy. White Dragon on this earth is a good person. He doesn't agree with the regime, you know, he doesn't agree with how his world runs, but he just has to make do with it, do his best as he's in the world. So while he's doing his speech, his very patriotic speech, we just see in the window behind him one of the vigilantes. And then Vigilante just jumps right in and just shanks the ever-living hell out of White Dragon in the neck. It's like, God damn it, James Gunn, why do you keep doing this? You keep killing off characters you make us like. Have you ever noticed that? James Gunn always makes characters hateable, and then makes us like them, and then kills them off. You ever notice James Gunn does that a lot? Well, maybe not hate. Maybe not hate at first, but still, James Gunn always makes us like a character just to kill off the character. Anyway, so a lot of bad things happen once White Dragon is killed off. The police realize that something's off, so they go in too. The double vigilantes just go on a killing spree, and it was pretty awesome to see. Our characters, they try to run back to their portal, but then Keith, you know, he lost his brother, and now he just lost his father, so naturally he blames the doppelganger Peacemaker. So he fights him off. But Eagly also swoops in to help out. And all our characters kind of just body Keith. Chris, he actually cries out begging them to stop. Because he then realizes that they're not the problem, he is. Everyone he loves, everyone he gets close to, he causes them to die. It started with his Keith. He killed Rick Flag Jr. He killed his own father. So Peacemaker finally realizes that he's the problem. But they don't have a choice. They have to leave. This world is crazy. The cops are about to storm in. They need to leave. So they run back through the portal to their world. But Amelia actually asks I assume, the doppelganger vigilante, give me a gun. Because she was about to shoot Keith in the head, being like, sorry, but can't risk you going after him. But before she's able to land the shot, the police show up. And so our vigilante has no choice but to close the door on them. And then, what happened to that vigilante's fate? Unknown. So our characters run back, they go through the portal, and when they make it back to our world, well, Argus is right there waiting for them. Chris, he willingly hands over the gizmo that is able to move the portals, claiming these guys all showed up to convince me to surrender and give it to you. And Judo Master's just like, yeah, I can back that up. Pause on that, but you know what I mean. And that's pretty much the episode. We still have the finale, so I don't know what's gonna happen. Did I miss anything? Trying to think, did I miss anything? You know, there's more and more news right now that Zack Snyder's DCEU could continue, could be revived. Man, just let the man finish his trilogy and just let that be. Alright? Let James Gunn cook with what he's making, but at the same time also give us the conclusion to Zack Snyder's trilogy. I mean, screw the whole confusion thing. You're giving us Matt Reeves' The Batman Part 2, aren't you? And, you know, I don't understand why WB has such an issue with different continuities airing at the same time. You would think that if it was the same continuity, that would be a bigger issue. I mean, remember, Warner Brothers didn't have this issue initially. Actually, they've always had the issue, but I'm talking like the characters. So, if you don't remember, a decade ago, not only did we have the Arrowverse and like a dozen TV shows airing at the same time, we also had the movie side, or at least trying to get off the ground. But at the same time, you know, over at Disney, not only did they have the Marvel movies, they also had a ton of Marvel shows on several different networks that supposedly were in the same continuity, so what's the issue? You know? Disney also had shows on ABC, on Netflix, on Hulu. There are so many Disney shows out there that are connected to the MCU. Like, what's the issue? Just give us 2 continuities. I want to see James Gunn's vision play out, but part of me wants to finish Zack Snyder's vision more. Just give me the final 2 movies. Just give me the other 2 Justice League movies. Finish the trilogy. And that way we can be done with it. Just let it be 5 movies, the end. That's all I want. And there are rumors about the cast potentially returning too. Some of the cast members I can see returning no problem. Henry Cavill, no problem. Gal Gadot, no problem. Jason Momoa, no problem. However, Ben Affleck's a little bit more challenging. He did have his drinking problems during the time, and he was kind of done dirty at the point, so he may not really want to come back. But I feel like Ben Affleck has a fair chance to return. Now, these last two are the big issues: Ray Fisher and Ezra Miller. There is so much bad blood between Ray Fisher and WB, so I don't know if he's down to return. And Ezra Miller, well, all the insanity things that he did, I don't know if... I at this point, I don't know if they want him back. You know, I don't really see Ray Fisher in anything. He was in Rebel Moon, but those were also Zack Snyder movies. I feel like the most recent thing he was in was The Piano Lesson that came out like last year. Danielle Brooks was also in that. Alright, let's talk about the next show. Are you ready? I'm ready. Because this was a pretty big revelation in this show. So let's talk about the second last episode of Gen V. Season 2, episode, I think, 7. Oh man, the ending really is quite a plot twist. I'm amazed I didn't get this spoiled. I'm so glad I didn't get this spoiled. I haven't really gotten anything about Gen V spoiled besides people just thinking the season sucked. I don't know, I don't find the season bad. I find the twists and turns pretty good, actually. But who knows? Maybe the final episode is dog water. Kind of like everyone was saying Squid Game Season 3 was. So, who knows? Maybe the final episode is so horrid, it ruins the whole season for me. We'll see. I will see. So, we begin the episode with Annabeth having dreams, nightmares, flashes to the future of Marie seemingly dead in a pool of blood. So, she wakes up. She runs over, questions Jordan, hey, where's Marie? And Jordan doesn't know where Marie is. So they all kind of stumble. They all kind of question, like, hey, where's Marie? I haven't seen her anywhere. Sam shows up and is like, hey, has anyone seen Kate? So they realize that Marie and Kate are gone. Annabeth is freaked out because she just had a premonition her sister may die in the near future, so they need to go and find them. Thankfully, Jordan knows exactly where they're going. I can't help but notice some of the set pieces, some of the set locations here. Because we see Marie and Kate pull up into a parking lot, and I'm just like, that parking lot looks familiar. I feel like I've been to that parking lot before. Now, I know that's kind of crazy. It's just a parking lot. But I tell ya, it really looks familiar. Because I feel like I parked my car there before. Now, just by the aesthetics, just by the finer details, I'm not able to pinpoint exactly where it is, but still, Looks super familiar. So, yeah. Kate once again asks, "Are you able to heal me, Marie? You can fix my powers." But because of the bad blood between the two, Marie doesn't really want to. So Emma. So Kate is just like, "Marie, I promise you, I will never use my powers to hurt you or any of our friends ever again." But Marie still doesn't buy it. We see Cypher. He's looking at his phone. Wait, no, yeah. Like, he's still super pissed off that Marie is gone. So what did he do? He just he takes off his belt and starts whipping the body of Thomas Godolkin. It's like, God damn, you are cruel. Anyway, so Marie and Kate, they go over to Cypher's house to try to find the body of Thomas Godolkin. But instead, when they show up, they find Polarity there. Cypher also realizes what's going on between him and Polarity. How something, his powers, the frequency, something, is able to block Cypher from using his powers to possess and take over. Something like that. So, these idiots should have realized by now. Cypher has cameras. So, when Marie and Kate are walking around in his house with Polarity, Cypher is able to see through his security cameras. And he is just overjoyed that Marie is here again. So, over at Cypher's house, Polarity has a seizure, so Marie, she uses her powers to heal him. Completely. Like, Polarity is a healthy man again. So, I kind of assumed that she reversed the damage his powers did to his brain. Like, remember, Polarity's powers causes micro tears in his brain. So it's like, I guess she was able to heal those as well. So, okay, Polarity's not here, neither is Thomas Godolkin, so what they do is they go back to the campus to try to find them. Our characters, they also are heading on their way back to the campus. Jordan is driving back there with Annabeth, while it's revealed later, a tiny Emma is inside of Sam's pocket, and he just jumps over. Sam can't fly, but he can jump really high, really far. And I can't help but notice that the road that Jordan and Annabeth were driving down, man, those are not American road signs. Those are Canadian road signs, I can tell. Those are some Toronto area highway signs. You can't trick me trying to convince me those are in America. Those are some Canadian road signs right there. So they show back up to campus, while Sam lets Emma get dressed and also grow back to normal size. Rufus and the other dude, they show back up. It's like, man, where you been? You made an oath to the Brotherhood. So now, for some reason, the guy takes his pants off and then he just squeezes out another person from his cheeks. And it's just like, here's your brand new person as your personal servant or whatever. It's like, what the fuck? So he just hands off a brand new person in a diaper to Sam. A part of me even wondered, what was the point of the storyline? What was the point of adding this in the episode? It kind of just seemed like a waste of budget. because they needed the special effects to have that person squeeze out of those cheeks. But then I started to, pick up on the pattern, because I picked up on this pattern so many times. They add in a brand new random character just to kill the character off. So I was thinking, this brand new quote-unquote character, Hampel was his name, will probably be killed off. And, yep, spoilers, this character does get killed off by the end of the episode. Emma also runs into Greg, they hug, and, well, Sam gets pretty jealous. So now Greg is also joining the crew to try to find Marie, because they need to find Marie. They know about Annabeth's vision. So they split up and search. So, Marie, Kate, and Polarity, they show up in Cypher's quote-unquote principal's office. Polarity himself actually suggests, why don't you heal Kate? Because she can read minds. Oh yeah, also, Marie is able to detect heartbeats. I feel like she should have been able to do that a long time ago, but whatever. Marie is able to detect heartbeats, which is how she knew that Polarity was inside of Cypher's house. However, she can't pick up on Thomas Godolkin's heartbeat because there's just so many people at the school. So Polarity suggests, why don't you heal Kate? She can read people's minds. She can tell. She can figure out if anyone saw, Dean Cypher wheeling around a 100-year-old burnt-up man. But then Marie just explains why she won't do it to Kate, because she doesn't trust her. Someone like her, with that kind of power, cannot happen again. And it really does seem like Kate is remorseful. But I understand Marie not wanting to take that risk. So after Marie blames Kate for the death of Andre, because in a way, Kate did land them in Elmira, Polarity comes to Kate's defense and is just like, if you want to blame anyone for Andre's death, blame me. I could have told him about his powers, how they were slowly killing him, but I didn't. Man, Andre's absence really is felt in the show. So Cypher calls the office and is just like, did Polarity tell you about my offer? If you come back to train with me, then all of you and your friends will have ambiguity. Think about it. Marie heard the training grounds door shut, so she knows exactly where Cypher is. So they move. So all our characters, they, Sam is actually quite jealous. It's a new feeling for him. And Emma's right. It's like, who I choose to be with, who I choose to be more than friends with, it's none of your business, Sam. And, yeah, I get that Sam is in a difficult position. I get that. But worst of the worst timing ever, so Greg shows up and it's just like, hey, I found Marie. Saw her heading towards the training room or whatever. So as if this was Subspace Emissary, all the characters just gather together. So the group that is Marie, Polarity, and Kate, they are approaching. Marie is able to sense a faint heartbeat coming from underground. That has to be Godolkin. Emma, Sam, and Greg, they run over. Jordan and Annabeth, they run over. They all try to stop Marie from doing this, because let's face it, we all know it's a trap. But Marie's just like, this is why I wanted you all to stay away. because what's about to happen is dangerous. I want all of you to be distant and safe. So then Annabeth reveals that she got her powers around the same time that Marie did. She had a precog days in advance that her parents would be dead in a pool of blood. But she didn't do anything. So instead of hating herself, she just said it was easier to hate her sister. It's like, oh, that's cold. But Marie is just like, I'm sorry, but I have to do this. So what she does is she actually kind of attacks her friends. Makes them all float in the air painfully. She actually asks Kate, if I heal you, will you make them go away? If I heal you, you have to tell them to go away for their protection. And Kate's just like, no, I promise I will not use my powers against you guys anymore. So Marie has no choice but just to leave them be, while she and Polarity walk in. The plan is Marie finds Godolkin while Polarity distracts Cypher. And it works! Marie goes down, finds Godolkin, while not only Polarity, but everyone joins up to face Cypher. It's pretty funny though. Like, all of the girls, they go off to find Marie and help her, while all the guys stay back and fight Cypher. So, Annabeth, Emma, and Kate, they go and find Marie, while Polarity, backed up by Sam, Greg, and Jordan, male Jordan, they stay back and fight Cypher. Cypher's just like, I figured out what happened between you and me. I know your powers can stop me from inhabiting a person, but... And then Cypher just inhabits them one at a time and is just using all of their powers to attack Polarity. He just goes, can you guess which body I'm in at each time? Oh my god, so the three of them kind of just throw Polarity around like a little rag. It was actually a really cool idea. I never thought about that. So downstairs, Marie finds Godolkin. She's just like, are you Thomas Godolkin? If I heal you, can you help us find a way to stop Cypher? So she does just that. She saves a burnt up corpse that is Thomas Godolkin. Anyways, obviously we know that our characters, they win in the fight against Cypher. Marie healed Thomas Godolkin, but something's off with him. Something's not right with him. Because up at the top, Cypher, he kind of just changes. He's no longer the cold, calculating 3 steps ahead person we knew and loved. Now he's just like, no, please don't kill me, I beg you. Please don't kill me, I don't want to die yet. I have a cat. I had a job at Blockbuster. Please, don't kill me. It's like, I just want to live now that he's no longer in my head. Who, Cypher? There never was a Cypher. So that is quite a plot twist I did not see. Thomas Godolkin was controlling Cypher, you know, the man we knew as Cypher the whole time. Cypher doesn't exist. It's always been Thomas Godolkin. Which makes me wonder, how did that even work? Godolkin was controlling quote-unquote Cypher, but then he was controlling another person's body while controlling this person's body. It may not make sense, but it doesn't have to. Because it seems like Thomas Godolkin is kind of like an Omega tier mutant, an S tier power level. So, yeah. There was never a Cypher. It was always Thomas Godolkin. Which kind of makes me wonder. Looking back, now that I know the context, now that I know what really played out, looking back when quote-unquote Cypher was taking care of the body, I can see that. I can see why he would not have such disdain keeping that body hygienic, changing out the diapers, wiping out the shit, bathing him. He was bathing his own body. However, now I see in a totally different light that scene where Cypher was doing the dirty deed with Sister Sage right in front of his body. But then again, I also wonder all the times when Cypher was abusive to the body, when he was punching his own body in the face, earlier in this episode when he whipped out his belt and started just whipping his own chest, his own abdomen. Yeah, Thomas Godolkin's not very stable, is he? I mean, if he knew that his endgame would be to be healed up by Marie, then any damage done to his body wouldn't really matter. But yeah, Thomas Godolkin is now healed, is now freed, and is now unleashed upon the world once again. Kate is able to realize Thomas Godolkin is Cypher. Let's get the hell out of here. So Godolkin walks out. He encounters Hempy, or Hemper, whatever his name was. He asks, "What's your power?" "My feet. I can turn my feet into hands. My big toes become opposable thumbs." So then he controls him, uses his leash to just strangle himself. And Godolkin, he doesn't want circus freaks. He wants gods to walk among the earth. So now Godolkin is just walking towards his own school, ready to cull the herd. Oh boy. This was a pretty big ending. I did not see these plot twists coming through. Question is, does Sister Sage know that Cypher isn't real? That it was just Thomas Godolkin? Does she know? You know that one friend of mine has been waiting for me to finish the season so that I can talk to him about Gen V? All of the breakthroughs, all of the reveals. And well, that motherfucker don't talk to me no more. I thought it was because he got a life. Because he got a job and a girlfriend. He even said himself that he just doesn't have time for me anymore. So this guy just don't talk to me no more. And then I come to find out that some of my friends said he doesn't have a job anymore. He doesn't have a job anymore. I'm just like, motherfucker. I even saw his Instagram story too. He went out with his girlfriend for food. It's like, damn. Bro immediately switched up. Completely forgot all about me. For some piece of tail. I can't even say I don't deserve it too. But yeah, it's like, goddamn, this guy just completely forgot about me. Completely abandoned me and left me behind. Now that he got himself a girlfriend. He just completely forgot about me. You know, this is the second friend I've had do this to us. Or at least do this to me. Where bro changed. A girl changed him entirely, and now, well, he's gone. Just left us completely. Left me completely. This is the second time this has happened. Recently, too. It's like... You know, I can't help but wonder, am I the problem? You know? I can't help but feel like deep in the root, yeah, I'm part of the problem. Like, am I just that easy to abandon? I hold that little value and it's just like, well, he didn't add anything to my life, so I'm just gonna leave his ass behind. I'll talk about has-been in a second. I feel like I'm hunting in full odds, 1 in 8,000 full odds. Like, what is going on? Oh, there was another bot in chat? When did that happen? Oh, you want to know something that it just grinds my gears? I don't understand the mindset behind this. So I am quite pissed off at my sister these days. Not only does she come into work late, but she also gets to go home early just because she wants to. Just because she feels like it. And I'm just like, that's kind of unfair as fuck. Because she already takes random days off in the week because her husband takes random days off in the week. I know that makes no sense. But, like, his schedule, every single week he has different days off. So whatever days he has off, my sister takes off to be with him. So that alone is already unfair as hell. She can just take random days off in the week. But now, not only does she do that, on top of taking random days off, she also comes in late and leaves early. I'm just like, the hell? It's not fair. I have yet to just one day do the same treatment to her. For me to just get up, pack up, and just go. They ask me, where am I going? Home. Why are you going home so early? Because I want to? Because I feel like it? You do it all the time. You do it every day. I'm gonna go home early because I want to. Because I feel like it. Well, no, you can't go home. Well, too fucking bad. You don't care about my opinion when you leave early. I don't care about yours. I'm going. Bye. And what are you gonna do to stop me? But, my point is that I find this mad unfair, but my mom is just like, she's married now. She kind of belongs to him now. And I'm just like, wow, that is not the right way to phrase it whatsoever. So anyways, my mom's point is, she's married now. Her priority is her husband now. And it's like, yeah, I get that, but you don't really need to leave work early for that. Matter of fact, majority of the time when she leaves work early, it has nothing to do with her husband at all. And my mom is saying, like, when your sister gets pregnant, she straight up just won't be at work. She's going to just stay home, relax, pregnancy. And I'm just like, Mom, did you go to work when you were pregnant with us? And she's just like, yeah. Oh, I can already see it. My sister is going to be one lazy bitch when she gets pregnant. And the sad part is, I can't say anything. I can't be like, no, why don't you get off your lazy ass and do it yourself? I can't do that because she's pregnant. So I have no choice but just to suck it up and actually do what she asked me to do. And I can already tell you, I know for a fact she's going to abuse that power for as long as she can. She'll just be like, brother, get me this. Brother, get me that. Brother, do this for me. Now, I can understand the argument for when after she had a kid, her priority would be raising the kid, taking care of the kid, be with her husband, you know, her family. I can get that. I can understand that being the case after the kid is here. But right now, I can't stand the argument my family has. My mom has in particular about the fact that she's married now. She doesn't need to do anything anymore. It's like, what? Like, this mentality my family has to where she's married now. She belongs to him now. It's like, still not the best way to phrase it, but it's kind of the best way to drive it home, really. It's like, she doesn't have to worry about our asses anymore. Her priority is her husband, and I can get that. I do. But she takes it to the point where she doesn't have to do anything, period. I can't even reverse the roles if one day it happens to me, you know? one day, if I do get married, and let's face it, probably not gonna happen. If that does happen, I can't even reverse the roles. Be like, sister, I don't have to do squat anymore. I'm married now. I can't do that. Because my family's just like, well, you have to do more now since you're a boy. You're a man. You need to do more now that you're married. It's like, fuck me. This world is so toxic. I do not want to live in it anymore. But I'm kind of stuck in this world until my time is up. Wow. I just got curious and looked it up. Nintendo Capri Sun's Mario Galaxy 2 playthrough. The first part has 1 million views on it. Holy crap. I didn't know that video had that many views. Wow, 15 years ago that video was posted and it has 1 million views. Now, granted, he's not the biggest channel in the world. He does have a following. Damn, I didn't know he had... Oh, jeez. This guy has more views than I thought. His PVZ video, his Zomboss video from 14 years ago, 17 million views. Holy shit. I didn't know this guy got those kind of numbers. I see actually his most popular videos are the Plants vs. Zombies. And then the second most popular, 14 years ago, 10 million views. Christ. I didn't realize this guy got that many views. Oh, by the way, Dashi posted another Ghetto Chef with Kai Sanat. Just watching some old videos. Forgot how funny they are. Alright, let's talk about Has Been real quick. Okay. The sooner I get this done, the sooner I can just be silent and move on. My head feels a lot better now. It's not throbbing like it was earlier, but there's still a hint of something in the back. Oh, you know what else I remembered? There's been drama lately with Markiplier that he may have cheated on his Five Nights at Freddy's 2 10-20 run from like 11 years ago. And the consensus is pretty much he cheated. Who cares? I don't know, it's kind of funny. Markiplier is in some drama, and it's like, who cares? I just thought that was pretty funny. Nobody cares that Markiplier cheated. Okay, anyway, so let's talk about Has-Been real quick. I forget what episode this is. Is this like episode 7? So after Vox declared war, which I did notice a couple of Easter eggs from the previous episode, actually. When Vaggie went to talk to Lucifer, there was actually a pile of cash in the background with a note saying, like, this is a bribe. Come back, Lucifer. Mammon. And when I saw that, I was like, I don't know who Mammon is. Who the hell is Mammon? So I looked it up. Supposedly, in biblical lore or whatever, Lucifer's not the only fallen angel. There's like 7 of them. And Mammon is like the fallen angel of greed or whatever. I'll be honest, this is the first time I've heard of the character Mammon. It also turns out Mammon is a character on Hell of a Boss. He has a primarily green design from what I saw, so like, oh. It doesn't help that I also just never heard of Mammon before. Okay, and also, during Vox's like DEI song, not that kind of DEI, I actually have no idea why it's even called Vox DEI or whatever. Damn, I didn't even notice this pretty cool visual. The fact that Vox made angel wings for himself out of TV screens just to impersonate Lucifer. He even stole Lucifer's tone too. Like his rhythm that his song had. It helps to rewatch and pick up on small details. Anyway, so this episode opens with Vox talking to Carmilla Carmine. Now, she hasn't really showed up at all in this season, aside from a single blink and you'll miss it appearance where she had like 3 words for a line. So basically, Vox went over to Carmilla to ask her to join him in his war against the angels, but Carmilla says no. But Vox, I'm not gonna lie, Vox actually had a pretty persuading argument. Like, the angels are gonna come. There will be war. Whose side will you be on when they show up? Since the angels, they're not gonna spare you. So you could either die, or you could be with us, fighting them when they do show up. You could even protect your daughters. You join us, I'll help protect your daughters. And yeah, that actually is a pretty good, compelling argument. So Carmine actually agrees to help Vox create his weapons against the angels. By the way it sounds, it almost seemed like she was making one single super weapon against them. But then we see later on they're building weapons like swords and whatnot. Back at the hotel, we see that Charlie and Vaggie are still fighting. They're not in a great place, and Husker has had enough of this shit. So he decided to leave. He just straight up quit the hotel as well. No Alistair, no Husker. And I guess that makes sense. Husker was here solely because Alistair wanted him to be. So without Alistair, why is Husker still here? So then on the news, Tom Trench announces that Voxtech and Carmilla Carmine, I forget what her company's called, they have worked together. They have, started working together to create weapons against the Angels. And then on the news, Vox during the meeting, he also revealed this too. Vox is just like, I will complete what Lilith's dream was before she disappeared, to wage war against the Angels, or to liberate us and give us our freedom. Charlie knows that this is wrong, so and Vaggie knows that Carmilla, what she's doing is wrong. So the two of them separately agreed to go and talk to Carmilla Carmine together. While the two of them are gone, they actually put Nifty in charge of the hotel. Can't say that was the greatest idea. Vox asks Valentino if he can borrow angel dust for a bit. We'll find out why. Oh yeah, we also see that during the meeting with Carmine, Vox made Velvet apologize for her behavior. The interaction that Velvet had with Carmine last season. So Vox asks Valentino if he can borrow angel dust. Valentino is kind of on the fence about it, so Vox is just like, if you do, then maybe you and I, since I'm free, the two of us can fuck the rest of the time. But then Velvet is just there, is just like, kind of funny how whenever you need something from us, it only serves you. It's only convenient for you. So not only was Velvet there, Alistair was there too. So Vox tries to put on his big boy pants, and he's just like, what? I wasn't asking, I was demanding. He does this hypno eyes of his on Valentino, and Valentino's just like, that doesn't work on me. I feel like Vox having hypnotic eyes probably should have been something that was established sooner. It's like he now has a superpower that is just now being introduced. Feel like that probably should have been something they introduced a little bit sooner to build it up. And it's not just that. There was another one in this episode too. We'll get to that. So we see Husker. After he quit the hotel, he goes straight to a casino. A casino where he gambles, he also drinks, he has this whole musical about his life is in a bottle. So, there's a singer, there's a lady about to sing, and it turns out to be Angel. And, it kind of seems like Husker likes what he sees. Despite being kind of, shocked with no words that it's angel dust. Can't help but seem like Husker likes what he sees. He does blush a lot. So they talk. And then, they have to separate because Angel got called in by Valentino. So now he has to go. Angel's just like, I'll see you back at the hotel. Cool. During the discussion with Carmilla Carmine, we get brief glimpses and flashbacks to just how abusive and cruel the angel executioners, exorcists were. where, you know, Vaggie did have it rough, especially under the command of Adam and Loot. So back at the hotel, when they return, they realize it's a big mess because Nifty was in charge. What was she doing the whole time instead of managing the hotel? Well, Baxter was actually, quote-unquote, fixing her roaches to where now they have arms, legs, lungs, and are able to play music. Vaggie gets summoned up to the penthouse, where Charlie made a little fort with blankets. Charlie finally opens up, breaks down before Vaggie, to where Vaggie actually just soothes her with song. And then, you know, the two of them have this love song where they're in hot dresses. The scene was pretty hot, but, well, given what I've seen online, I thought it would be hotter, but whatever. They have a pretty nice song together. Vaggie's super high singing voice compared to her deep speaking voice completely threw me off. When her high-ass voice came on, I'm just like, wait, what happened? I looked at my screen like, what happened? No, that was just Vaggie's singing voice. It completely threw me off. Alright, so Angel now meeting up with Valentino. He goes into this like motel, and it turns out Vox is in there, and Vox is very brutal to Angel. And it turns out that this whole time, how did Vox always stay one step ahead of Charlie? How did he always stay one step ahead of everything? Well, it turns out that Angel Dust has been a spy for him this whole time. Not willingly, though. The superpower that was introduced in this episode, Vox hypnotized him, and the whole time, Angel Dust has been feeding him information. That's why Vox did not fear Lucifer when he crashed his little, like, crowd gathering. Because Angel Dust overheard Vaggie and Lucifer's conversation, where Lucifer revealed that he cannot harm sinners, so he just avoids them. I did not see this coming at all. However, I kind of wish there was more build up to this. Like, if you would go back and look at the previous episodes, maybe you could see Angel Dust in the background and you wonder, what's he doing? Why is he here? Because Angel Dust has been pretty absent this season. So I kind of wish they built up to this more, maybe hinted at it. Like, if you were to go back, you could actually see him in the background lurking. I wish they did more. I wish they actually led up to this, built up to this. So once again, Vox hypnotizes Angel Dust. We also see that Charlie, she calls her father Lucifer. Lucifer, watching like duck soap operas, gets a call from Charlie. Charlie asks to see him right away, and Lucifer's just like, great, I'll be right there. Teleports away. And then on the other line, it turns out to be Vox, impersonating Charlie's voice. Somehow being able to call Lucifer at the exact same time that the real Charlie actually wanted to call him too. Yeah, for the most part, that's it. Vox tricked Lucifer, and it seems like he has something up his sleeve. That's another power I feel like should have been established before the episode. Vox's ability to impersonate voices and hypnotize. I feel like both of them should have been introduced earlier, so that his powers would be established. I don't know. That's just my thoughts on it. I probably missed a ton of stuff. Oh yeah, so Husker returned back to the hotel, and no one has seen Angel Dust. Both Husker and Cherry Bomb find it suspicious. Angel Dust isn't back yet, and he isn't answering his calls. And we see once again Husker blushing at the thought of Angel Dust. So Who knows? Maybe there really is some sort of romance being set up between the two characters. Is no one straight in this show? You know? Well, I suppose Lucifer is. You know, that's another detail I forgot to mention a couple episodes ago. When Charlie had her interview again with Katie Killjoy, Charlie reveals that she's bi. She's bisexual. So she's not straight up gay. Which I find interesting for them to have to clarify that. So Charlie isn't just into girls, she's into guys as well. That's interesting. I wonder, they went so far as to just tell us that to establish her sexuality, but I wonder if they're ever going to actually show us her be with a man. I kind of doubt that, since I highly doubt at any point in the show they're going to do something like she and Vaggie breaks up for a bit, she ends up meeting a man to fall in love with, it doesn't work out, and then she ends up with Vaggie again. I highly doubt something like that will happen, but who knows? You know, one problem I feel like this show has is, surprisingly enough, too many characters. I didn't even mention Zestial in this episode, because he briefly showed up and he didn't really do anything but talk to Carmilla Carmine. Like, there's kind of too many characters to where there's only so many episodes in the season, and majority of the characters did not get any screen time or development this season. The biggest players in this season are obviously Charlie and Vox. Alistair, Angel Dust, Husk, Vaggie even, Cherry Bomb, they all got thrown to secondary characters. So the biggest players in this season are Charlie. She's always going to be the biggest player. So Charlie and Vox. I don't know, I've seen some people complain online that Vox may have a little too much screen time this season. I don't know, it's we'll have to see how season 3 plays out. Well, I'm almost done for tonight. Thankfully, my head does feel a lot better. Alright, this will be the last one for tonight. Goodbye.